So in this tutorial, I would like to talk about if statements. On the Smart Inventor board, there are IR sensors, infrared light sensors, and are used to detect light changes. Infrared light. Our CoDrone controller comes with many digital and analog IR sensors. Activate, they will be triggered because the IR infrared light will travel to the outside and then bounce off your finger, letting it know that it is being triggered. You can see that the two sensors on the left and right of 14 are not shown. These two are disabled when using the CoDrone library. When the sensors are not covered, IR light has nothing to bounce off, so it is untriggered. However, when it is covered by a finger, like so, the IR light bounces and it becomes triggered. When using sensors, always manually tell the code to check. To do this, you can use this code. Sensing IR sensors. Byte name equals digital read, and then the pin number. And of course, you need the little comma thing. So, the name. This is the name of the saved value, so it's basically the variables. Variable name. Pin number. This is the pin number of the sensor. Pin number. Pin number of sensor. As you saw on the little screenshot, this one. This is the pin number for the IR sensors, 18, 17, 14, 12, 11. And then the byte, which is a type of variable. So in this tutorial, we will be using 18, the pin 18 IR sensor. So our code should look something like this. Byte, and then BT8, as in short for byte 8, byte 18, but then it's always 11, or it's never 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so then I'll just use 8. And then equals digital read, and then parentheses 18. Sensor 18 is in parentheses because it is the pin number. As you can see here, it's with the parentheses here and here. So then this will be the code that we'll be using. So an exact replica of a code that reads should be something like this. Hashtag include CoDrone.h. Void setup. CoDrone.begin. Then CoDrone.autoConnect nearby drone. Then that bracket. And then you always want the computer to check. Oh, sorry. Want the computer to check this code right here. So what you do is you use that void loop that's always been sitting around doing nothing and finally make it to use. So this right here would always check if byte BT8 is true or false. Right now, if you cover 18, nothing will happen because you haven't put anything on it yet. So you need to put the if statement. So what are if statements? Let me just put it here. If statements. It would be easier if you put it there, right here. What are if statements? So what are they? If statements look something like alright. If statements on code, it looks something like this. If the condition of the if and then brackets statement, what happens? So if statements, what's the condition? Condition basically means if the stated condition inside the parentheses is true. So if I were to say x is greater than 10 is true, then the statement inside, so if x was 20 and okay, let's just write that down, x equals 20, and the condition was x is greater than 10. So then this would be a true because x is 20 and it's greater than 10. Greater than 10. So if the stated condition inside the parentheses is true, then the statement will execute. Execute, it means it'll run the code. So the statement is anything that is written inside the brackets, and they will only execute when the stated condition is true. So this is the statement. And lastly, if the condition is false, so x equals 9, then the condition was x is greater than 10, then the computer would absolutely ignore this code and do nothing for this code and just keep on going. The conditions symbols that we can use are greater than, greater than, less than, greater than, or equal to, less than, or equal to. Equal to, not equal to, and not. So let's say we wanted to make a IR sensor for takeoff and a kill switch for safety reasons. Alright, let's do that. So then we would use the code that we used earlier on. Should be somewhere here. Right here. Then I want to be able to use two sides. So what was that again? 18 and 11. So I want to make 11 my takeoff code, and I want to make 18 my kill switch. So then I'll write it here. Byte BT1 equals digital read 11. Right, so just like that, it'll read. Then I want to make an if statement. If BT1, so this is basically saying if it is true. If it's true, it'll execute. So then I can make this into CoDrone.flight event take off, and then if BT1 oops if the pin 11 is covered, then it will take off. Then I want to make a kill switch. So, oh, by the way, you have to make the brackets to this bracket. So then I would need to put a bracket here, because this bracket is the bracket for this loop bracket. So then, to make it more obvious, you could tab or but I think your Arduino should show you an error if you didn't have enough brackets. So you should be careful for that, and sometimes you might forget. And then I want to make a kill switch. So if BT8, BT8 brackets CoDrone dot flight event, and then stop. This will kill the CoDrone when BT8 is covered. BT8 is the 18 is covered, then it'll stop. It'll kill the drone. So this is the use of if statements. It didn't have any condition symbols that we could use, but this is an if statement nonetheless. If with the condition. If we were to break this down, it would be if BT1 equals true, but when we write BT1, it already means if this is true. So we don't have to write any of that. Okay, and thank you for listening.